If you have a podcast and it's not growing as fast as you want it to, and you know that it's good content and it just needs to get out there in front of more people, I have something that works for me and has worked really, really well for me, and I want to share it with you. I'm going to set the scene first. In January of this year, out of nowhere, on a whim, I decided to start a second podcast called Daily Dose of Donna, which was going to be little snippets every single day, Monday through Friday, pop culture, personal stories, living in LA, motherhood, all the things, because I just needed another outlet. My first episode was on January 6th, and while I talked about it in my stories a little bit and told some people, in my inner circle, still today, March 27th is when I'm filming this video, the downloads for episode number 1, 3 months almost after the fact, are still 41. Now that's pretty low, let's be honest. But see, I was all in on this podcast and I really believed in it. And I also really enjoyed creating it. And I knew more people would enjoy it if they just knew that it existed. So I had a conversation with someone on my team who basically said, what about using more video? And I'm like, hello, that's what I do. I teach video. So instead of just releasing the audio and talking about it in your stories, or maybe just screen recording or doing like a little audiogram, film yourself recording the video, the entire podcast, and repurpose for short form TikToks and Reels. Look, this is nothing novel. Been doing it before and we've seen it around, right? So I started to do this using Riverside.fm. I have a link in my Stan store if you're interested in more, and I can do an entire other video on how to do it. But you may recognize they look like this. This was a video, a little TikTok that I posted last week about Vanderpump Rules and the reunion, and the numbers have blown me away. 90,000 views, etc. Been shared over 100 times, like bananas. So creating TikToks and Reels like that were definitely upping the numbers, and I was seeing improvement for sure. But something completely changed last week, and I never ever thought this would happen, because I am a YouTube fan as a consumer, but I've just never had luck actually, really growing on the platform. I repurpose all my TikToks and my Reels, and, I've posted before some marketing content. It just hasn't really worked for me. I've always been at like maximum 20 views, but I did post an episode last, I want to say Tuesday or Wednesday, just threw it up there, had no idea what to do with it. And this is what happened. Now I'm going to start by saying when I first posted this video on YouTube almost a week ago, I had max like 215 subscribers. Like I said, really small channel, was never gaining traction, didn't really understand like what I needed to do there. But when I decided to lean in, I leaned in. And right now I'm sitting at 2.37 thousand subscribers. Remember, this is in 5 days. And numbers are crazy. This is on Friday's episode, 6.1, 23,000 on Thursday, 32,000 on Wednesday. And the shorts have gotten more views, and everything is just kind of lifting, okay? Here's a couple other interesting things that happened. My Instagram followers have completely upped. I think I'm almost 200 more Instagram followers. So they're definitely converting over to Instagram. My mailing list has increased bananas, I think like 50 new people. I've had new discovery calls, and companies have reached out because now I'm making a little bit of a little wave in this podcasting and video space. But here's the coolest part about it. Remember I told you how episode 1 still to this day only has 41 downloads, and when I created it and posted it, I think in the first 7 or 14 days, I think we sat at like 20 downloads. This is what Friday's episode just did for me. Now, please know, I know it's not a crazy huge number, but I'm an indie podcaster. I don't have a marketing team. I do this all on my own. And this is just for one of my 5 episodes that I had last week. So my numbers are just growing phenomenally. But for Friday's episode, so that's in 2 days, over a weekend, when I haven't even talked about it. I love the podcast, The Toast, and I was listening to it over the weekend, and I heard a moment of it that I was like, this is so exactly what we're talking about. Here, check it out for yourself.
We've always done video and audio, so when we made the jump to Reels, it was a no-brainer. But now people who've only ever done audio have to record themselves in order to make these Reels.
That's what's so interesting about like the podcasting landscape that's really actually confusing to me is like in the last year, podcasting has gotten even bigger. We're in more households and podcasting has really taken over. But unless you're a podcast that films, you are irrelevant. Like, it's crazy to me how the medium at its core is audio focused, but like the biggest and the best and really
These girls said exactly what has been proven to me. If you have a podcast and you're not only filming it, but not using Zoom, sorry, you're using good quality cameras, lighting. By the way, I use my desktop, but I have good lighting and I have good audio, which is all something I talk about, and I'm filming it. And this can be the difference of making it or not making it in this podcast atmosphere and, universe. Anyway, I'm going to talk more about this as we go. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive. If you do have a podcast, I want you to list it below and let me know if you record video or not. And once again, if you are interested in seeing the software that I use to record, I do have a link over in my Stan store. So go check it out and, good luck. Let's grow our podcast in 2023.